If you're 18, listen up. If you're an adult, listen up. If you're under 18, listen up. Your voice, your vote matters. If you can't vote, it's your job to motivate your parents, your peers, and any other voting age adult to get out and vote. And vote because they can't. Vote because children can't. Fallen soldiers can't. Those who have perished from gun or gang violence can't. People who have died because they couldn't pay a medical bill can't. Those who have lost their lives to suicide can't. Vote because brave people died for your right to vote. Vote because most of our ancestors couldn't. Vote because women like Elizabeth Cady Stanton fought so you could vote. Vote because civil rights activists like Martin Luther King Jr. marched to protect your right to vote. Vote because people around the globe are counting on us. Vote because it's your right, your privilege, and your responsibility. Find your reason to vote and just do it. You might ask, why does voting matter? Why do midterms matter?
Elections are really the only opportunity for most Americans to have significant influence on their government. Most people lack the wealth or resources to hire lobbyists or other firms to really swing legislation in their favor. So for most people, voting is the only thing, it's the only form of currency they have to spend. Specifically with midterms, the legislative branch is an important check on presidential power. Changing party majorities in Congress through midterm elections changes the leadership in both halves, and it changes how Congress writes bills, how they respond to presidential actions. Giving the legislative branch over to the party that is different from the president can make the president's life more difficult, which is usually a good thing. You never want to have a president who's able to easily do whatever they want without supervision from the other branches of government.
Why elections matter? Well, I've voted since I was 18, and when I was young, I was interested in politics because there were issues that I cared about. And today specifically, I think we have a very divided country. And I think there are some people that may be happy with the direction of the country and some people that are not happy with the direction of the country. But we don't really have a democracy unless everybody votes. The more people that vote, the more of a democracy we have, the more voices that will be heard. And if you want to affect change in our system, the only way to affect that change is through electing leaders that will move your issues forward. And if you allow everyone else to vote and you don't vote, then your issues will not get heard. And if your issues aren't heard, you're going to think, well, politics doesn't matter. But no one's going to listen to you unless you vote.
You might ask, does my vote matter? Millikan history teachers Mr. Osborne tell us why your vote, every vote matters.
My hope is that that people will realize this, people will be engaged, they take a little time every week to inform themselves of the issues, and that they do vote, because it's really important. There's so many things that we do in life, our civic duty, making sure that we clean up after ourselves, we don't litter, making sure our communities look good, and voting is one of them. If people don't vote, then we don't have a democracy, and my big fear is that we wake up one day and 10, 12% of the population's voting, and to me that's not a democracy. I don't want to live in a country where most people are disengaged, faithless in the system, because the system is still responsive to the will of the people, and you need to go out and vote. So go vote.
You might say, I don't care about politics and I'm not informed. I shouldn't vote. Former President Barack Obama told ATTN why you should care and how easy it is to get informed.
There are people running for office who don't think women should get equal pay for equal work, who don't think we should do anything about schools getting shot up, or who think we shouldn't raise the minimum wage for people who are working their tails off every day but still can't afford to pay the rent. Vote them out. Vote for somebody who shares your values. Also, this thing has something called Google. You can't use Google to figure out which candidates on your local ballot think that the earth is flat and climate change is a hoax. Google is super easy to read.
So we get it. All these adults are telling us to vote. How about we take a listen to why our students want to vote? Because their voices matter, and we are the present and the future, even if we can't vote today.
I mean, even if you can't vote, you got to get out there and let the lawmakers know. Like, if you find a march that you're passionate about, they have events all around the community all the time. Like, lawmakers listen, they see those things. I had an internship in one of our local members' offices, and we knew that stuff all the time. We were like, if you send them letters, if you write them things, they take note of all of that and they put it into their system and they read them. So it's really important to kind of get your voice out there, even if you can't do it through the ballot.
Plus, stay informed because incumbents often get reelected a lot. So if you already know what they stand for now, you can either keep voting for them once you turn of age, or you can vote them out of office if you don't agree with their political standpoint.
Now I leave you with this. How can you choose not to vote? How can you choose not to motivate your parents and other adults to vote? What happens November 6th is up to us, the youth of America.